Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker, and we are in the middle of July 2025, and we are here with the market update. So right now what we are seeing in the market is, again, a lot of inventory, and we're really not going to focus on that too much because it's not going anywhere. I think it's just going to stay at that level. For the past 2 weeks, we've kind of seen it stay steady at around 32,000 listings available for sale. Even week over week right now, we've only seen it come down by 25 units, which you can't even measure in a full percentage point. So it is pretty stagnant. The inventory is there. It's not going anywhere. But the good thing right now is that it's not actually increasing as well. Like, we haven't seen that in the past 2 or 3 weeks that it really increased either. Now, this is likely because it's summertime. So during this time, we usually don't see too many more new listings come up onto the market. But I also think that could be a mistake. I think that the sellers that are waiting for the fall market, I think this could be a mistake on their part at the same time. Because right now, as the inventory position stays stagnant or slowly starts to decline a little bit, the amount of choices still goes down. And the other part of that is that people that are actually looking for homes right now, they're probably a little bit more serious because they're not hanging out, using their summertime to chill and whatever, but they are out actually looking at homes. So I think that you have more serious buyers at that time. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that, you know, first, second week of September, we're going to start to see these listings start to ramp up again. Hopefully that we are going to be in an inventory position that's maybe a bit less than where we are at right now, so we don't kind of see it pile up quite a bit. Right now we're at 32,000 listings. I would really like to see this thing go down. Like, hopefully, even if we see below 30,000, I think that would be a win. If we end up at like 27,000, I think that would be a huge win. I don't think we're going to get there. Even if we get down, like I said, to that below 30,000 number, 29,999, I'd be really happy to see that going into September, because more than likely what's going to end up happening is that we are going to see an increase in inventory when that happens at the same time. Another thing that I want to mention to you guys as well is that when I'm meeting with sellers right now, they're telling me they're going to wait and they're going to wait until interest rates come down. And that's when they feel like more buyers are going to hit the market. I got some bad news for you guys if you guys have that mindset, because before people were complaining about the interest rates, I have not heard anybody complain about the interest rates except sellers. So buyers are not complaining about interest rates. Right now, you could probably get a 5-year fixed rate for somewhere between 3.79 to 4.1%. So it's a very healthy rate. Back in the day when I first got my mortgage, it was 5%. And after that, it was 5.4%. And if you talk to some people that have bought real estate way back in the day, they'll tell you it was 15% or 17%. So for us to be around that 4% for a 5-year fixed rate, I think money is still at a good level. Roughly, if you're calculating it, that means that $100,000 for you to borrow is about $540 per month. Okay, so it gives you a little bit of a guideline over there. But yeah, I don't think that interest rates coming down is going to get more buyers to come out. The issue right now is, what I'm seeing is that the uncertainty in the market. So because we're still seeing so much uncertainty in the market, this is where it's kept the buyers on the sidelines. Right now, homes that are selling, they have a very compelling presentation, a very compelling offer, and that's why they're actually selling. So they look nicer than most of the homes that are out there. The pricing is more affordable, a better comp than what's out there right now. And these are the ones that are selling and likely still getting multiple offers. Multiple offers haven't disappeared, even though we have this much inventory on the market, okay? So we even have an example of listing 1538 Major Oaks, and we listed that property at $800,000. We had, in a week, we had 30 agent showings to that property in a week. And on the open house, Bucker was doing the open house on Saturday and Sunday, and he was overwhelmed. He had between 50 and 60 people show up to the open house, which all translated into us getting 6 offers. And usually when we get 6 offers, I would tell you 4 of them are trash. This time, I think 1 of them was trash. Like 5 of them were pretty decent offers. And out of that, 2 of these offers were outstanding. They were like neck and neck and neck. So this is how we ended up actually selling this for $100,000. And the thing was that it was realistic. Our seller's expectation was realistic with where the market was at right now. And they were willing to bring the property up to the best condition possible. They didn't play around and said, okay, let me just go in and wipe things down or whatever. They took our recommendation. They hired a professional cleaner that came in and cleaned everything. They had everything painted. They changed the door handles. They changed the lighting fixtures. I think all in all, if I'm not mistaken, it cost them about $5,000 to $6,000 to invest into this property. And the return return was massive. Like if they did not do this, instead of selling it for $900,000, we probably would have sold it for 865, 875, somewhere kind of in that range. So I think that by them investing $5,000 or $6,000 into the property, they actually got $25,000 out of it. So net $20,000. I don't think that's bad, especially tax-free, especially now, right now, because they're not taxing your equity, but they might be doing that in the future. We don't know. But yeah, this is kind of what is getting buyers motivated to buy. So sellers need to be cautious about this. And I think moving forward right now, when we look at the market, what we're seeing is that year-to-date sales, they had a pretty big spread when we started looking at it in February. In February, basically year-to-date sales, when I checked them, they were around like 25% off of where they were. And right now we're about 19% off of where they are at right now. But the consistent thing that has stayed is the condos. So the condos are not really catching up right now. So where we saw freehold sales lagging, about 20% behind, right now they're about 15% behind. And at the same time, when freehold was 20% behind, or condos were 22% behind, and condos are still, after 5 months, 22% behind. So what we are seeing is that gap starting to narrow on the freehold, and the condos are staying steady, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that gap is still going to get wider. And one of the reasons is that when freehold is still affordable and buyers don't have to cross over to the condo, they're going to try to stay in that freehold category for the most part. They're going to try to stay in there. And when we see an increased demand in condos is when they got priced out of the freehold market. When they get priced out of the freehold market, that's when they're going to start to go back to condos. I still think that's going to take some time because there is a lot of inventory overall. Another thing I want to mention to you guys also is that in June, so our June sales, when I compare it to 2024 versus 2025, we were only off about 3% in terms of sales, and that was less than 200 units. So we were only off by 200 units. I want to even say, like, maybe in July, we will probably be even with what 2024 was. I don't even think we're going to be behind. I think it's going to be even. And I think that's what we can kind of expect going forward. I think we are going to kind of catch up, at least in the freehold category, to what the sales we did last year. And consider this, okay? Right now, we are holding 30% more inventory than we did last year, and our sales are about the same. So that should tell you guys something. 30% is around 8,000 more listings right now, and our sales are basically the same as what they were last year in June. July, I think, is going to be the same thing. And I think that's going to be what's going to be going forward, as I think we're going to start to comp off to what we did last year. I don't think that year-to-date sales, we're going to close the gap of what we did last year. Even last year was not a great year at all in terms of overall volume sales. And I think this year is going to be worse. I don't think it's going to be dramatically worse, but it's not going to be the same numbers. It's going to be less than what we did last year from what I'm seeing right now, especially in that condo category. What can I tell you moving forward over here? What I could tell you is that, and because we're meeting with people that have condo apartments right now that want to kind of upsize into a freehold because they're seeing the opportunity, they've been watching the market, they've seen the freehold prices start to come down into a category where they feel comfortable with. But what I'm hearing from them is that I'm going to wait a little bit longer until my condo goes up so it makes it even more comfortable. It's not going to happen. You're really going to lose an opportunity over here. I'm not trying to convince you to do this, but if it's your goal, if it's your desire that you want to move from your condo apartment to a freehold property, this is your time right now. Yeah, you're probably not going to get exactly what you want to get for your condo, but if you can make the switch over to freehold and you're still comfortable, this is the time to do it, because that condo price is still going to probably come down. Right now, we have over 1 year's worth of supply right now. If we didn't list another condo right now, we have 1 year's worth of supply right now. And guess what? There's so many projects right now that are in that occupancy stage. So they haven't actually registered. They haven't come to market. And there's a bunch of buildings. I'm not saying they're going to start putting shovels in the ground. Some builders still will. But the buildings that are kind of up right now that they're working on finishing, like there's Viewpoint going up right now. I think they're on the 7th story of like construction right now. They're not going to stop this because there's an oversupply. They're going to have to finish this building. They just can't leave it the way that it is. So you could see that this stock is going to continue to increase. So I don't think if you're a condo seller waiting for the market to get better, to get a better price, it's not going to happen. So if you're going to make the switch, you better make it now. On the flip side, if you're a freehold seller, I would tell you that if you're looking to move up into a bigger property, because this is another one of our bigger clients right now, which is they have maybe a smaller property and they're looking to go to something a little bit larger. I would say the best thing that you can do is have the best presentation for your property and be very realistic with what you're going to get. If I show up to your house and I tell you, hey, here's the comps and whatever, and I have done this with somebody just recently about a townhouse, and they think that they're going to get $1.1 million, and they're like, okay, fine, not 1.1, because I'm telling them you're going to get 875 to 900. They're like, okay, just try for $1 million. What do you mean try? There's no trying. Like, the average selling price is 860. Where do you want to get $1 million when you have an N-unit townhouse and the detached properties are selling for under $1 million? Like, logically, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't care if you have, you know, hardwood versus the other house has engineered. It's not going to make a $120,000 difference, and someone's going to go for an N-unit townhouse versus a detached. So that comparable that I was just talking about, this is something that I would put together with the seller that I'm meeting. Basically in here, what I would do is at the top, I would put the solds over here. So all of the addresses, all the types of properties, the list price, the sold prices, the number of bedrooms that they had, whether they had a finished basement or not, all these notes are in there, when they sold, how many days on the market they were. And then down here, I put what's actually for sale. So if they did go to the market, what they would be comparing themselves against. And when I go through this, and when you're looking to sell a townhouse for $1.1 million, and I come to you and I say, hey, in your neighborhood around the corner from you, this sold at 855, 860, 820. Oh, there's a detached that sold for 939, 850 for a townhouse, 917 for a townhouse. Now, see, when I ever showed this to my client, he's like, well, that one sold for 917. But guys, you got to be realistic. When I average the ones that sold, they average out at $860,000. So this is something that I do prepare. I don't charge you to prepare this because I want you to be informed about what you're trying to do over here. So if you're interested in getting something like this for your property, reach out to me. I'll be happy to put something like this together for you. The point is that you have to be very realistic, because on your purchase, you're actually going to be able to purchase something that you likely can't. I met with another client of mine just yesterday, a past client of mine, and they have an amazing opportunity to possibly sell their property and get into a neighborhood where they probably could not get into. It's tight for them to get into, but they're thinking long term. They're going to be here. They got a family. They got a cool business that's going on right now. They're not really overly concerned about it. And luckily for this guy, and he's a hustler, and his business keeps continuing to grow. It's such a cool thing to see. Even with the economy kind of being down and you're hearing about things not happening, this guy is growing his business like it's nobody's business. Like, it's crazy how much contracts this guy has taken on. But the point is that they have an opportunity to sell in somewhat of a cookie cutter neighborhood and move into a really nice neighborhood. If they don't take that chance right now, and even though things may be tight for them, if we look at it down the line from right now, it's going to be almost an impossible move for them, because I'm telling you that the freehold will catch up sooner than the condo will. And this is an opportunity for some of these guys to move in if they have a long-term plan of being there. And I'll leave you with this. Before, I used to say, hey, if you're going to buy a property, you got to kind of be there for 3 to 5 years. Right now, I'm telling you, you got to be there for 7 to 10 years. Like, that's the way it's going to kind of work out, I think. Who knows what's going to happen? But at that point, I think you can really mitigate a lot of the risks that you may be up against if you only have a short-term investment mindset, which is like 2, 3, 4 years. I don't think you're going to win in that time frame. Really, that's what I could kind of tell you about what's going on in the market right now. I don't want to say that the market is slow. I think the market is moving. If we think about it, there are still unit sales happening. We are seeing still, like, 5, 6, 7,000, not 7, like 5, 6,000 units a month being sold. So the market is still moving. When I think people talk about when the market gets better, they're talking about price. So if that's what you're relating the market getting better is price, I think you can kind of forget about that. I don't really think that's going to really be happening anytime soon. The market is getting better, but it's getting better in terms of volume sales. And I think that is the indicator that the market is going to get better, and it is getting better as long as we continue to see the volume sales go up. Eventually, what will end up happening is that if that continues, the volume sales will start to see the inventory come back in line, the volume sales will continue. The next step to that is price, but we're still far away from that, guys. If you guys have any specific questions about what you're thinking about doing, considering a move possibly, considering investments, I think it might be a bad idea. You may want to reach out to me and talk to me about that one as well. Give me a shout. Send me a DM, call me on my cell, text me, whatever you want to do, get a hold of me. There's also a very convenient way. There's a link over here for my calendar. Click on it. Let's book a quick 20-30 minute call. Let's go through some of the ideas of what you're thinking. I can give you my opinion based on what your personal situation is, and you guys can make the best decision possible from there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please go ahead and like this, share it with your friends that are thinking about real estate. I'm sure they're going to find some value in it. And most importantly, subscribe, guys, because I think I still have the best content out there, and it's real content. There's no fluffiness here. There's like 5 notes in here. I'm like, that's it. All of it's in my head. It's real information. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Kabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.